Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective. I know this is very informal. I don't have my flags. I don't have anything set up. I didn't even announce that I was going live. Um, I just kind of hope the audio and everything is all working. But the reason I'm doing this sort of surprise live is because I've got something on my chest that concerns me deeply. Hello, DM, California Critic. Good to see you. I know this is late. Uh, Not a planned thing, but a necessity. Is my audio okay? Because I don't want to even start getting into what I found until I know that I'm coming through right. Max Jean Woodley, how you doing? Uh, yeah, this is late, but I've had something rattling around in my head, and I know there's an event coming. Um, Unfortunately, the signs that the event is coming are starting to get louder. 5 by 5, Rebel Jack. Thank you, bud. Um, I am going to try to use a couple of features on here that I have not used yet. Uh, just got to bear with me a little bit. But some of you may be aware that the the deep state, the CIA, military ops, all of these people use code. Right now, hey, Killer Whale, good to see you. Right now, the communication has been restricted with the deep state. Every time they get a skip made up, they have penetration, and they're not allowed to communicate out in front. They can't just talk to each other. Every time they try this, they're being intercepted. So what they've done is they've reverted back to an old technique of communicating through photography and symbolism. And when you learn the codes, when you learn what they're really saying when they write stuff, and take some training, you have to learn this stuff. But when you do, you can see signs of danger. You can answer. Basically, you can respond to their code, and sometimes it startles them. Benny, good to see you. Wow, I can't believe how many other people are awake. Darla, welcome. Sandra, good to see you too. Um, what I'm getting at is I think there's going to be something going down in Texas tomorrow. I can't nail down what it is, but I can sure give you some idea of what I think it might be. Um, it's not going to be good. I bleed American. Good to see you. I'm trying to give people a chance to get in here because I have one shot at getting this out, and all I can do is I know that I only have just over 700 people that follow my or that subscribe to my channel, and hopefully others view it. But I put it in the title that we need to be watching Texas, that they speak in code. So I'm hoping that that'll draw some people to it. Now, I don't know if you guys caught today a press briefing by Nancy Pelosi, and she was um, wearing a red dress. Red dress. I can't even remember what dress she was wearing. She was wearing a green dress, and with that green dress, she she was also wearing a certain bracelet. Uh, let's see. I'm gonna try and get it. Oh, not that one. Nope. So I'm trying this stuff for the first time. So click icon, click the screen icon to unblock it. Yeah, what I named this thing was a speak in code. Watch Texas. So I'm not sure what the hell I just did, but screen icon. Um, trying to get it going. Um, see if it'll let me this time. Now, what I want to do, show you that. I don't know if it came up or not. Yeah, it's in here. Um, in this little thing right here, a she wore a bracelet, and in this bracelet, she's got. I guess they're not going to let it play. Okay, so it's gonna play it. Got to be careful how long I play, but okay. Here's the bracelet. Yeah, the bracelet's made with bullets. The orange is the color of gun violence. It's really not. All right. Now, what she's getting at is it has nothing to do with, oh, this bracelet's made of bullets and it's got orange to represent the color of gun violence. No. The code is the bracelet had a bullet, had an orange bead, bullet, orange bead. Bullet to the orange man. And it's blatant. You can say, "Oh no, that's impossible. You're reading too much into it." No, if you know the codes, if you speak code, then you read the stuff. You can read it like a book. Um, Max Gene, I think I said hey to you. Great informer. Good to see you, brother. I think I got everybody, but sorry about the late night, but I had to get this off my chest. Freeman Pennington, welcome, brother. Good to see you. Um, anyway, so that was number one. And that's the go sign. The green dress, that means go. Everybody knows green means go. Pointing at the bracelet, making it a point to say, look, these are the bullets. And then they've got the orange to represent the orange gun violence. No, it's not. It's, I'm wearing a green dress. This is your go order. There's the bullets. There's the orange man. So it doesn't, you don't have to be a code breaker to see some of the subtleties that are done to get information from one to another. All right, so there's that. Second one here is even more direct. We got this one. Now, I want you to look at this image closely. All right, there's a code here. Biden already alluded. Yep, you're jumping ahead of me, Freeman. You're good at that, though. You're as on top of this stuff as I am, brother. I wish more people had a chance to listen to what you had to say. As a matter of fact, if you guys don't have Freeman Pennington, pick him up. Go hit him up on his channel because he speaks truth. He's like the rest of us. We're warriors for justice out here. But my other cigarette wouldn't stay lit. Now, in this image, I don't know if you guys can see my cursor. New to me, but what you're seeing here, second parsley, good to see you. You have an Overwatch. He's sitting up in his chair or up on the bench in the window there, and he's in a position of Overwatch. Down here on his left, our right, when we're looking at the screen, is this green mysterious pillow that's down here. Well, across from that is a motorcade, and it's irrelevant what toys are used, but what that is a motorcade right here in the front, down next to his right foot. You got the blue car in the front, and then the purple and the blue, orange, another blue. That symbolizes a motorcade. The toys that are in the background symbolize structures, something, landmarks and structures of similar design. Now, if you look at this green pillow and you think about where President Trump is going tomorrow for his rally, you got to think about one thing. You got to think about the grassy knoll, and that pillow that is a clue for the grassy knoll. The toys lined up in that nice little train is that symbolizes a motorcade. So you have the grassy knoll, the motorcade, the high structures behind the motorcade, and what you've got here is a John F. Kennedy redo. What they're telling their deep state to do is this is the time. We've got Nancy Pelosi saying you've been green lighted, put the bullet into the orange man, and then you've got James Comey creating his little playground with his toys. That is it's a map, so to speak, of how the layout looked during the assassination of JFK. So what they're doing here is they're telling their people, this is it. This is what we're going to do. We're going to repeat the no, I think it was November 1963 event, and we're going to take him out. And the reason they're doing this is because they've lost on their impeachment. Nancy Pelosi has had to stand down. She can't. She's saying she's going to hold off on the vote on the floor because they don't have the support. So that means this issue is dead. They're done with it. So what is their last gas? And their last gas is November 22nd, 1963. Yes, that was the year that the coup against this country began. This is a continuation. Every year since then, every president since then has been a continuing process to create a coup against our government and eliminate the Constitution and create a one world, new world order. So anyway, when you listen to the that debate yesterday, Biden is not real good at keeping his mouth shut, and you have to look at his little playback of when he was answering about we just have to get this man out of here. And on the 17th, well, what I'm going to tell you is he said the date, the 17th. So these people know what's going on. They know they've got a go order. And there's another thing. They know that the Patriots follow 17 because that is Q. So I plead the blood of Jesus over our president. Yes. At this point, prayers are needed big time. Our president's in danger, and it's up to the Patriots to protect him. And that's part of the reason I want to get this out here now, because I don't want to go to sleep and then sit through the day tomorrow thinking that I've come across this. I've created a scenario. I've analyzed the clues, and I think that I am on target. All I can say is that I hope they have prepared enough to protect the president, but I believe that there's going to be a all-out attack against him tomorrow. But I'm not even done with all the clues yet. I've given you part of them. We've got the green dress, the bullet bracelet with the orange beads on it. You've got Comey with the overview, and the overview signifies that they're in Overwatch. They're watching over the motorcade, and that's where they're going to be trying to do their stupidity. The other thing is the Star Wars program. In that image that we just had up with James Comey, he makes it a point in his tweet that he put up with that it is it's Star Wars toys of his 7-year-old godson. Well, the significance of Star Wars is the significance of Star Wars and the Overwatch is that the attack could come from above. And hey, Colleen, and the only thing I can think of that can come from above would be Project Bluebeam. Do weapons, direct energy weapons from above that could be launched on a vehicle, and you can see these at night, but during the day they're pretty blank. You can't see through them. You might see a distortion in the what do they call that, condensation or heat vapor. Can't think of the name of it. It is late, but my concern is with these clues. I mean, she made it a point to talk about the bullet and the orange man, but my concern is that they're not going to even bother with a bullet because they know that uh, in the beast he stands a pretty good chance of not having to sweat any of that. I don't think a 50 cal can go through that thing at close range, so they wouldn't have it there. But a dew weapon from above can basically vaporize anything inside the car because it would turn that car into something that would be in excess of 1200 degrees. It could be as much as 2400 degrees. Um, yeah, any attempt against our president will be met with extreme justice in the hands of the country's millions of patriots. That's true. I wholeheartedly agree with that. If I could get there, I would. If I could personally warn the president, I would. Um, I don't like this. I see what's happening. I'm listening to their code speak, and I feel very powerless to do anything about it. But yeah, I promise the Democrats that if they get rid of our president, it's not over at that point. It's the beginning. Um, it's it's bad. But I thought about doing this as um, a recorded video, but I figured I'd just come up live because I wanted to bring these images up and show it to you. But I don't know what you guys think. Based on what I'm telling you, do you see a pattern? Do you see the potential for code and how I've broken it down? Do you understand that it how that works? Um, I'm just curious because to me it's like it's pretty blatant. It's right out in the open, and I just I don't know what to do about it besides try to get it out there. Um, oh, the 17th Biden video clip. Yeah, I figured they dropped that one pretty quick, but it doesn't matter if people see the code, if they can speak the language of symbolism, then it doesn't matter what they scrub off the web as long as you get a hold of the important things. Will the vice president be traveling with him tomorrow? I don't know. That's an interesting question. But I don't know if also you guys have noticed that it seems like my uplink right now is working, but it seemed like prime time, the this whole system, the whole uplinks, everybody's live shows. I know it hits some people differently, but mine was buffering like crazy. I know Tony. Hey, good to see you, man. I know you were having trouble with uh, with your show trying to keep connected. I was on with Pete, and I mean my audio went, my video went, everything was screwing up, and I know it wasn't me this time because I had a perfectly clear sky, and when I have clear skies, I can burn right through this thing. I go up to the satellite with no problem. So it couldn't have been me, and I think that part of this is because they're getting ready for an industrial shutdown of the web. Um, if they make a go against our president tomorrow, then you can pretty much bet your ass that the internet is going to go down, that our communication will be cut off. Um, California, just the threats alone means we have the right to remove these politicians. That's true, but somebody has to get a go order, and somebody has to move forward. Everybody's waiting for everybody else, and one man can't do it alone. I mean, you can get picked up and hauled off, but that's not going to get you anywhere. You need to coordinate with the sheriff's department and do arrests using your county sheriff, your elected sheriff, because they have the power to do it. Um, well put, Alex. So yes, I think they are desperate and might crescendo in their minds enough to see it as the only way out. Yeah, the only alternative. Biden 17 can still be seen on Let's Be Frank. Okay. Yeah. So you put all these together. You have Biden's screw up. You have Nancy Pelosi's go sign with the green dress and the bracelet. This is the thing we're doing. And now you have the James Comey Overwatch on using Star Wars on the motorcade in the same place that we lost a president once before, so to speak. There's a bait and switch. President Trump is very savvy. Sandra, I agree with you. He is very savvy. He's very smart, but there are some people outside of our government that have access to some of the most dangerous things that have ever been created by man, and that the direct energy weapons. I don't think we have full control of them yet. We know that they were used in the fires in California. They've been used in New York and Louisiana, and there's images online of the blue explosions, the blue beams, so to speak, when they took out transformers in New York and also in Louisiana. So California was a beta test, and if you don't know what a beta test is, in the military, you take a small segment of something, you create a scenario, and you look to see how the public will react. And when you do a beta test, you're testing the principles of combat, so to speak. You are the first thing you're going to do is you're going to eliminate power, because immediately after you take the power, you can create a panic and an element of control, because everybody will be coming to you for their necessities. They're going to be coming to you for their water and their food, because most people aren't prepared for more than 3 days, and after 3 days, people can start dying of dehydration. After a week, most people can survive a week without food, but after about a week of trying to survive and potentially drinking bad water, then you start getting waterborne diseases that start taking people out. So there will be an element of panic. So the first thing you do is you drop the power. That way you start getting people into that control mode. Second thing you do is you cut off communication, so that the civilians can't communicate with each other. And they did that in a part. They took down the access to the repeater towers, so that the people, uh, Tigger Killen, good to see you, welcome, so that the people can't communicate with one another. So power first, communication second. And in a beta test, you don't take down the superstructure. You take down pieces of it to see how people react. And what they did was they took down those repeaters so that ham radio operators couldn't communicate back and forth. And they basically, in a real scenario, you wouldn't take down just the repeaters. You would take down the cell phones too, so that nobody would have communication with each other. But the third thing you do is you restrict movement. And what they did is immediately put a curfew into place and told people you can stay in your yard or you can stay in your home. If you leave your yard or your home or leave your yard, you will be arrested. Well, that is martial law. Whatever they called it doesn't matter. When you've killed the power, you've killed the communication, and you've eliminated the mobility, the free movement of people, that's called martial law. And in that beta test, I think they got the answer they want. They see that most people don't do anything. They had a couple of incidents. Somebody shot at one of the PG&E trucks, and they had people yelling at PG&E workers a little bit, but nobody really went down and stormed the local office and demanded immediate action. And that's what they wanted. That was the answer they wanted in this beta test. So they can get away with doing a lot without the public rising up. So the reason I keep saying the beta test is because that's what they're doing here. They're uh, they're planning an event in Texas, and let me just say right now, as a disclaimer, I don't know if this is going to happen. I'm just telling you how I observe things. So if if nothing happens by the grace of God and all that's holy, I will be thrilled. I don't want anything to happen. So my prayers go for his safety, not for something stupid to happen. And if it does happen, gotten this off my chest saying, look, I knew I've tried to tell people. I know it's late. I can't, it's pretty late to this, but if they do something stupid, then you can bet that the event will take place. The communication will be dropped, and they'll probably start with an internet. There's errors. You won't be able to look up stuff. They'll do is they'll drop the cell phone networks so that people can't get calls in and out. And then third thing they do is they drop the power. And we got to watch for all this stuff. If they decide to go big, or as they say, go big or go home, then this would be the last resort kind of thing they'd be talking about. We knew because of them being put into a corner that there had to be a massive event to get the people distracted. Um, his rally is where did you go? He has a rally tomorrow night in Dallas, Texas. Yes, that's the concern I have. That's why I'm bringing this up now because there's time is very short. But I mean, if you could call the White House right now, I would just beg him. I'd tell him, sir, I just really think that the people down there would understand, and I believe that you need to stay out of the area. And you never want to admit defeat. Uh, you don't want to bow down to the intimidation tactics, but if you can't be absolutely certain that your people are the ones that are in control of the do weapons and the other things that could be a threat, then sometimes you have to back down and come at it from a different angle. Delay it. Throw their plans off. Just like this FISA report, the the IG Horowitz. First off, I think he's a putz, but he's going to delay the release. Hey, Fred, he's going to delay the release of the FISA again. And William Barr was given permission to release things at his discretion uh, on the count of their classification, basically free reign. So I don't know if I trust anybody at this point. Um, for one thing, IG Horowitz donated $1,000 to the campaign of one of the morons that says they're going to be running against President Trump in the primaries on a Republican ticket. So Horowitz is not our friend. He is a sleazeball like the rest of them. And William Barr was first appointed by George W. Bush and Jr. basically, and at that time, some really bad things happened in this country, and he was a part of that. So the swamp dwellers are starting to come to the surface, but they're not being picked off yet. So anyway, so they were expecting this Horowitz report to be out on Friday, on the 18th. I was expecting it too. I was saying it was probably going to be the Friday afternoon drop. And now they're saying, oh, no, it's not going to come out Friday. It looks like it's going to be an end of the month. So they've delayed it again. That's okay, partly because it throws the deep state off balance. If they were planning on an event, coming out on the 18th, they're looking at the 17th, do something before all of their incriminating activity gets released to the public. That's my thinking, but it sounds like they've already had this plan for the 17th. and they were going to just go and act on it. But now, what they say is let them spend all their ammunition, get all of their tactics out of the way, and then come at them when they have nothing left to give. So, my hope is that President Trump is fully aware of the code and the threat and everything that goes along with it, and that maybe they're going to delay their landing, maybe they're going to change their route, maybe they're going to use all three cars and put them all in different directions coming into town. There's little things they can do, and I hope they do them. But it is sad that we have come to this place. Yes, it is. Um, of course, he and his protectors are. Um, he and his protectors are what? I'm not sure. Uh, AOC tries to do the right thing for a pencil. What would she do for a Klondike bar? Anyway, so this is what I've got. Kind of short, sweet, potentially miserable, but you got any questions? Because you're all here with me, and if you got something you want to talk about, I'd love to hear it. I'll call the White House and say, okay, that's a good idea, Sam. I mean, I don't know if they'll listen to us little people. That's the problem with being the peasants down in the village when we're trying to reach the king in the castle, and not to imply that Trump is the king. He's not my king. He is my employee, but it's just a figure of speech. Um, it's hard to get the communication barrier. Um, if you're proactive, you don't have to be reactive. Stay vigilant. Yeah, absolutely. Always be prepared. Always have your head on a swivel. Always stay vigilant. I say this all the time. Don't let things come at you as a surprise. Uh, Understand your environment, recognize the threat, and everything goes better. You're more comfortable in life that way. Um, what do you think Robert Mercer and his family are going to do? Where to go? Going to counteract the deep state globalists. Brother, I don't know about the Mercers, man. Um, their money's from oil. Hey, Duke. Um, they don't necessarily have. I don't know that they have experience in anything but selling a little bit of black stuff. Um, Alex, yes, when I can be a guest. Um, what? Guess what? Though I'm not sure what was said. President Trump always gets his messages when we call the White House. Okay. Well, by all means, please do. Um, I would be willing to do that myself, as a matter of fact. And when I get off of here, I'll look up the number and I'll call it, unless somebody has a number right now. Um, if there's a White House hotline, I know they had the hotline for veterans, and I have that in my comments all the time, but I don't have the number for the White House hotline. We're staying together as a patriot family and sharing information. Yeah, good. We are. 12B Georgia. Man, you got to go back and listen to this thing because I put it out there. I think I've decoded some of the deep state shenanigans, and I hope to God I'm wrong, and I'd be totally comfortable if somebody went, nah, 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 you didn't know what the hell you were talking about. And I'd be like, you know what? That's cool. All right. I appreciate that. Because in some situations, you want to be wrong. You want to really be wrong, but too many damn clues. So I just, I hope somebody can do that to me and just say, "Man, I can't believe you were talking that. You can't even back it up. You were wrong. You need to delete that video." And I'd be like, "Okay, whatever, cool, awesome." The president's phone number. Let me get that thrown up right there. Call the president phone number. Comments 202 switchboard. Um, I guess we would probably call the. Let's all do this together. See if it'll ring separately. I'll call him right now. 456-1111. Yeah, he very likely going to be in bed anyway.
Thank you for calling the White House comment line. The office is closed. Your comment is important to President Donald J. Trump. Please call back between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Our direct telephone number is 202-456-1111. To leave a comment for President Trump, please visit our website at www.
Okay, so that's kind of messed up. You got something like that, and there should be a hotline. I mean, maybe I'm not the only one that's seen this. I'm sure a bunch of people have seen this, and hopefully maybe the right person has seen it so that they can say, Mr. President, this is the chatter on the web. Um, well, I'm glad to be a part of the family too, right, girl? Appreciate that. I need some other people's opinions. I have a true story. I am trying to make fiction. I need help making a text on Alpha. Um, that's yeah. About the best way to do it is to make the first off, you name it a fiction, but you use the disclaimer that names and locations in this story are fiction and do not directly relate to other things, other people, other stuff. So you can write a factual story, nonfiction, and just you know you got to change the names or use unnamed people and change the location if you want to make sure that it doesn't get backtracked. But at this point, we've got to do things based on no fear. I always say that. I say no fear. What are they going to do? Kick the door in and run me into prison? Well, if the deep state gets their way, we're going to prison anyway. Because if you believe in God, if you believe in freedom, if you believe in the Second Amendment, if you're a flag waving, red blooded, God fearing American, you are probably going to be dead if the left gets back control of this country. And let that sink in, because that ain't no bill. That is fact. They've already made it clear. You got Kamala Harris saying that she wants to round up all the Trump supporters. You've got them talking about all kinds of things like this. Trump supporters need to be accosted in the street. They need to be attacked. Antifa is constantly going after us. Please grab the phone and let's call. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if the switchboard is open, but the direct line, the comment line, is not open. They're apparently on a short time. If we believe they are full of it. Yeah, well, I believe they're full of it, but I also believe that if they get back control, we will be at that point having to fight for our lives. Every waking hour, we will be fighting for our lives because these people are satanic. They're worshippers of Moloch. They are cannibalistic, and these things, they're not even trying to hide it anymore. So if we don't keep our president alive and we don't keep our patriot movement moving forward, we're all dead. And that's, you're either dead or you fight to the death. But that's the way it's got to be. We're going to have to defend ourselves. I don't get it with crayons. I'm easy to make fun. So a joke went over my head. No, I get jokes over my head all the time. They are the book Revelation characters. Yeah. Well, you've got the four horses' asses of the Democrat apocalypse too, with the four women of color that can't be attacked because they are women and they are of color. So they try to do that stuff to back you against the wall. But at this point, I think I've gotten out everything I can get out. If you guys want to hang out, that's fine. If we want to end it here, just let me know because I know it's already 12:30 my time. It means 1:30 East Coast. Uh, Good always wins. That's true, Dennis. I don't fear a loss. That's not my point. I just even if they take me out, I don't give a damn. It's not like going to the other side is a painful experience. It's actually relatively euphoric. Um, I have died clinically dead and physically dead more than once in my life. I don't fear death. It's not painful. It's comfortable. As weird as that sounds. So, plus, I know that I see spirits all the time. I have family members that come and visit me, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I see them. They come right into the house. They stand in one place. You can see right through them, but you can see who it is too. And I'm an Apache, so I'm in tune with the spirit world anyway. So why fear something that is supposedly more pleasant than it is in reality? Um, so I don't fear losing. Um, I kind of worry about the generation that I would leave behind if I failed. So that's where the drive is. Oh, you ghost hunt. I believe American does ghost hunting. Well, I don't have to hunt. They come to me. Um, I've got a huge Indian that actually my property was one of the areas that was camped on by Geronimo and his people during their stay here in the Pensacola area. We've got images and documents that say that they were on our property. So I always have Indians that show up on my property. I always hear ceremonial drums. It's it's just the way it is. I don't get alarmed by it because I know what it is. Could you please wait a long while, Fred? Long while for what? That's why you started because you've seen too many. I want to free their souls. Well, um, I don't think they need their souls freed. Um, in some cases, demonic images. I've seen demons too. They exist also. So anybody says, "Oh, demons don't exist," yeah, they do. I've seen them twice in my life, and both I can proudly say that my spirit is stronger than theirs, and I was able to back them off. But the spirits that you have walking around you, I don't think they are in turmoil. I don't think they are in suspended animation. I think they are just here. I think they come by, see what's going on, like my family members that come by. I think they come by, they want to see what's going on, check in on the family, and then they go do their thing. But I don't believe that they need their souls freed or um, that they need to go elsewhere. Um, yeah, okay, in some cases they might need some direction. Um, I can see where that would be in some cases. But anyway, so that's a different kind of video for me. But I am not afraid of them. I know about them. But anyone got anything for me? Have you ever heard of gang stalking? It rings a bell. Not sure what that is, but I have. It seems like I've heard it. Alex, I wish I could call in right now. What would be? Why would you want to call in? Um, Pray for you and Duke tomorrow. Yeah. Well, okay. Hope everything goes all right. I've been seeing spirits since I was very young. Yes, I have too, Fred. My entire life, I've never. I mean, to me, I didn't realize that wasn't normal until I was several years old, going to school, and just happened to talk about it to somebody when I was really young, and they said, "You're a freak." I said, "What? You guys don't see him?" I didn't know. Um, yeah, California critic. I'm glad to do it, brother. I'm looking forward to having you back on again. I want to schedule a show with you for. I'd like to pick your brain for about an hour, and I think that would be kind of cool. Um, um, Sack of parsley. That's not true. Um, there are ghosts. I mean, we are spirits. We are light beings. Um, in the actual documents in the CIA under the MK Zeta program, they've been experimenting with conception, and they found that when the sperm touches the egg, there's actually a flash of light, and that's been caught and recorded on an electron microscope. So we are light beings, we are spirits, and we're not demons. So, in your logic, if we were to die and our spirit was to exist beyond us, Carl's opinion, good to see you, brother. Welcome. Um, the point I'm making is that when we die, we become a spirit. Our light is released, and then we are in the spirit realm. That doesn't make us a demon, but there are demons. Absolutely, like I said, I've seen them twice, but there are comforting spirits. I've seen my own family, so I mean, I know they're not demons. They were very good spiritual people when they were alive, and I know I have no doubt that they're good still. I think Carl's probably going to be going live here shortly. Am I right, Carl? You're going to be getting up there and going live. Um, what time is the Trump rally? He's going to in Las Vegas time, 7 o'clock Central. So that would be what 4 o'clock your time, or 5 o'clock your time, I think. Um, it's a Trump rally without Trump. What does that mean? 10 a.m. in front of the Trump Towers tomorrow at 10. Oh, 10 a.m. Okay, that's where you're talking about. Um, yes, you will live one place or the other, heaven or hell. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of that's the nuts and the bolts of it. Well, I'm showing your support. Good to go, y'all. I really think that this is probably enough for the night. I've gotten my message out, and I hope you guys share it. Please tell your friends about me so that we can expand and grow. We've got a bunch of us looking to make it over this thousand. So go into my videos down below. Look at the one on the flag going for the grand. Take a minute, look at that video, and help the people on that video. Let's all get them over 1,000. I think it'd be pretty cool. I believe that Israel was the promised land. Trump has put the embassy back into Jerusalem, so I believe God will protect him. Darla, I believe that too, but I know the persistence of an evil entity is sometimes very difficult, and it's you can protect the spirit, but it's hard to protect the shell. Mr. Mikey, good to see you. Um, anyway, so yeah, well, let's just all hope that they fail miserably at this. Yeah, DM is posting the channels right now that are of the people that we're trying to grow, that we're trying to get over 1,000 before the first of the year, because all the rules are going to change with YouTube, and it's going to become increasingly difficult for us to get you the content that you deserve and that we need to get to you. So it's very important. Please help us get over 1,000. It costs nothing to subscribe to our channel. It costs nothing to follow us. So it's like free information all the way around. Um, we had a little boy in my house that died in a fire. He disappeared when we had our fire in '05. He probably a second fire. I imagine the spirit probably ran. Um, you can't take one. You can't take us all. Yeah, California correct. That's true. People have to come up and be together and stand up. Um, I mean, his name is Trump, and I agree. Yeah, I think we pray for safety, and I think the power of prayer is actually stronger than most forces. In the proper number, I think it's more powerful than any force. How many more you got, DM? Because I'd like you to go ahead and get those in that chat. That way, you get. I think you got them all, didn't you? Yeah, I think you. I think you finished them up. Yeah, you were doing more than one in each. Okay, cool, awesome. All right. With that being said, y'all, thank you to my mods. I know this was a late notice, and you guys jumped right in here. Appreciate everybody hanging out with me tonight, even though it's so late. Uh, I I hope this information gets out far and wide. And I guess until the next one, I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow night at 6 Central for the come in show. And look forward to talking to some of you tomorrow. Anyway, with that being said, y'all, stay in the fight.